Hey yo guys, what's up and welcome back to Toe Tags Metal Reviews, and here getting our final review of Dance Devil Dance by Avatar. Dance Devil Dance came out a week ago. We did our first impressions last week on our new releases. This week you get the full review. I'm gonna say that I enjoyed this album pretty good this week. Have some gripes, have some highlights. Let's talk about, I'm going to talk about highlights first. Usually we do it the other way around. So, intro track, which is the title track. I think this is a good intro track. I think it's not horrible by any means. It's not my favorite, but it's pretty good. My favorite part about it is the vocals and the falsettos. So I'm not exactly sure if they're actually classified as falsettos, but I'm going to say that just for lack of better terminology throughout this video, but because I think they're falsettos, I'm just not 100% sure. But anyways, this song has that, and there's a few other tracks that do have it, and they're highlights for me as well for that reason. I just like that type of vocal. I'm a fan of it. Everybody else is all like, oh, the deeper, the meaner, the growlier. I like that too, but the highs are mint. So that's cool. Then another song that stands out is On the Beach, track number 4. The reason this song stands out is because the bass throughout this song is so thick. I don't know if you heard that or if you noticed that, but compared to all the other songs, the bass is just chunky on this song. It just stands out for that reason alone.
I'm just busy jumping to how fun the bounce is on that song. You know what I mean?
Well, see, the bass is really good. It draws me to it. It's got a good solo too, but other than that, the song didn't do much for me. So it's kind of a love-hate relationship in that sense. I wish there was more in the song that I enjoyed, but just having that bass just really vibrate was definitely a plus for me. Clouds Dipped in Chrome also has some of those falsetto vocals, so that was cool. Some blast beats, good stuff there. What else? I guess I was talking about my favorite tracks, which is track number 7, The Dirt I'm Buried In, single we reacted to, and the last song, Violence No Matter What, which is, I said featuring Lizzie Hale before, but it actually is duet with Lizzie Hale, which I think is a very clever way to put it. That's what it says on the track.
And it makes sense considering how they performed this track.
Exactly, because we mentioned this before, that they're both singing at the same time. They both are trading off lines. They're both together the whole song. It's not just a feature where she comes in and does a verse and leaves. It's literally a duet, and it's fucking awesome. I love the song. I think Lizzie is the highlight of the song. Her vocals are amazing. It's just a really proper collaboration and a great way to close the album. The Dirt I'm Buried In is kind of the opposite end of the spectrum, because it's a more mellow song, but it's not exactly slow. It's still got it's a lighter tempo to it. It's lighter, but it's so catchy, man.
Yeah,
it's so catchy. The chorus is just hook city. Gets in my head. I was singing it all week. Even the lyrics in the chorus are catchy. I look up to the skies, but all I see is the dirt I'm buried in. Lonely lays the longing. I'm so far away from the world that buried me. I just like that. I think that's very poetic. It's so deep. Good. It's right, and some of the notes he hits during that verse or during that chorus or those lines or whatever, it resonated with me very, very deeply. I'm like,
he's got awesome harmonies on top of that.
Great harmonies, just put together very well. The solo is good in this song. There's a part, I guess you can call it during the bridge, where he does kind of like a Peter Steele kind of voice. It's kind of like a doomy kind of voice, and I think that happens once or twice throughout the album as well. But as for highlight tracks, definitely those two tracks stand out exponentially above the rest. The problems I had with this album, Valley of Disease. I gotta mention that just quickly. Awesome song. That's track number 3. That's also a top song. So 3 songs I should say are excel over the rest. Tracks number 2, so Chimp Mosh Pit, Do You Feel in Control, Gotta Wanna Riot, Clouds Dipped in Chrome, Hazmat Suit. Those songs I felt like were all filler songs. They all just kind of were like, man, whatever. And the worst thing about this album was Train. which is the second last track. It got to the point where I was just skipping this track. It did nothing for me. I feel like the placement of this song is good because it's a really slow, kind of really settled down song, a cool down song, and then you got Violence No Matter What right after that, which picks the energy back up. So, in able for that energy to have effect, you need something before it to not have much energy. So it serves a purpose in that sense. But I was so bored of this song. It just became a skipper for me, so it's very unfortunate in that sense.
Well, I suppose for my bit here on the album, I'll start with Train. I think this song's really cool, and one of the reasons it's because it's got this kind of country blues kind of feel, and that's the main spice that they put into this soup. They decided we're gonna sprinkle bits of country into this album. And Hazmat Suit is another really good example of that. I think that song is sick. It has a similar effect as The Dirt I'm Buried In. I'm singing this chorus a lot. It's really fun. I think fun is a really good word to describe this album. I enjoyed it quite a bit. All three of the singles that we checked out are amazing. Title track, love it. Valley of Disease, insane. Dirt I'm Buried In. You took the words out of my mouth with that song. Like, I feel the same way. Chimp Mosh Pit. I like that one. I think that one's pretty fun. That one and On the Beach both have a really nice bounce to them, and I like that quite a bit. But yeah, Train. I think Train is a good example of like the main issue I have with this album. It's too short. Train is like half a song. It does, you know. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. You're complaining about Train. I'm like, well, it's not even that long, and you're skipping a 2-minute song.
Yeah.
But yeah, so. It's to about 2 minutes, and it's like a verse, chorus, verse, out, and it's like half the song, but that is the song, you know. And nothing goes like the longest song on this album is 4 minutes 32 seconds. Nothing even gets to 5 minutes. And I remember you said early on in the week when we were checking out this album at first, you said that this album feels like it's blowing by you. Yeah. And I thought about that. The more I listened to this album, I'm like, it's blowing by me too. And I'm like, well, it's about like 40 minutes. Yeah. Which is pretty short. And then I look at the track list and I'm like, none of these songs go over 5 minutes. So like, yeah, this is a really short album, and that's really my only issue.
It's not that short though. It's 43 minutes or 42 minutes, 41 minutes. I mean, which is average for these days for an album.
But at the same time, none of the songs individually feel like long songs. So that's probably why it's blowing by, because they're all over pretty quickly from each other. One cool thing about Valley of Disease, the main riff is literally like 4 notes, but they make it really cool and interesting with their rhythmic arrangement of what notes to remove, what way they order it. It's so cool how they do that. And every time I listen to that song, like there's something rhythmically profound here, and they don't even need to do anything complex melodically for it, and that is kick-ass. Love that. The thing with this album, and that's the thing with this band, is that they always have something memorable in their songs. You don't like Train, but at least it's in your head, and it's something that you can remember.
Fair.
It's something you know, like, yes, I remember this is the song that does that. It's not like it's just generic whatever song. All the songs have something about them that are going to stand out to you in some way. Even some songs that you didn't really, like, weren't super fond of, you had something to say about them. You know, like Clouds Dipped in Chrome. I think every album that this band makes proves as another example as to why Johannes is one of the best singers in metal, in my opinion. He's got such an incredible range, great harshes, great cleans, like he can do everything. And he makes things feel so enjoyable, you know? Like you can feel the fun that he's having in his performances.
Yeah.
Like you look at a song like Gotta Wanna Riot with Bobby and Robbie, like it's just a lot of fun, and I enjoy that quite a bit. Now, we've covered this band multiple times on our channel. You know, we reviewed Avatar Country, and we reviewed Hunter Gatherer. Now, Avatar Country actually grew on me long after the review. In the review, we didn't like it that much, but like a year or so later, I checked it out again. I actually liked it a lot more than I did at the time. And Hunter Gatherer, I know you suggested I listen back to it, and I did, and I honestly like Hunter Gatherer more than I remembered liking it. Like I put it on, I'm like, you know what, this is actually a really good album. I guess we're transitioning into ratings, so I guess you know, but compared to this one, I feel like my week of listening to this was more fun than my week of listening to Hunter Gatherer, and I gave Hunter Gatherer a 7. I believe it was a 7. It was a good rating, and I'd probably rate it higher nowadays because it's better than I remember, but this one was awesome. It's going to get my toe tag. Really enjoyable through and through. The songs are a lot of fun. They're memorable. It's a great time. I had a great time.
Yeah, so I went back and listened to Hunter Gatherer again as well, because on the new releases video last week, I mentioned that, and this was just going off my memory, which is atrocious. I have the worst memory. I thought Hunter Gatherer was like, 3 or 4 good songs, and the rest of the album was like duds, just filler stuff. But then I went back and listened to it, and I'm like, holy crap, this is fucking awesome. Like, there's some sleepers on there. There's like maybe one song that I was kind of like, but the rest I was like, holy crap, this is good shit. So I went back and checked my rating for what I gave Hunter Gatherer, and I gave that a 7.5, which is just shy of toe tag territory. So it missed toe tag by a hair. But basically how I said I felt about Hunter Gatherer is how I feel about this album, Dance Devil Dance. This album has about 3 to 4 really good songs, and the rest is just fillers and duds. So I'm going to give Dance Devil Dance a 6, because the duds aren't bad songs. There are identifiable things with them. There are some decent elements that those songs have, but they're not playlist worthy. They're not like, not even worth mentioning a lot of stuff in a review about, for me anyway. So yeah, I guess that's it. A 6 from me and a toe tag from TV Fish. I think it's a step backwards for this band, unfortunately, but who knows? They have a pretty interesting discography, right? They're pretty diverse in their sound. They do a lot of cool different things. So you never really know what to expect when these guys put out new music. So,
and keep in mind, I mean, you know what? 7 months down the road, you might like this album a lot more than you do right now.
It's very possible. That kind of stuff happens all the time, but it won't change the score I'm giving it today. Anyways, guys, that's it for this review. Leave your thoughts down below. Let us know what you guys think of this song, if you like, this album. If you like it better or worse than Hunter Gatherer, you know what? Just rate all your Avatar albums down there. Subscribe if you guys are new to this channel. I'm Vile Self.
I'm TV Fish.
I'll see you guys on the next one.